to the Dr. Blasey Ford testimony about Brett Kavanaugh, but this is how I sound. I know it's a surprise to even me that I talk this way.
Uh-oh.
And I'm a doctor.
Hello, I started this gangster shit. Mr. Motherfucker, thanks I get. Hello, I started this gangster shit. And this the motherfucker, thanks I get. Hello.
All right, yes, welcome to Comic Artist Pro Secrets. You're listening to Ethan Van Sciver, 25-year veteran of this comic book industry, illustrator of Dr. Jordan B. Peterson's 12 Rules for Life, creator of Cyberfrog Blood Honey, and a great big Star Wars fan. The interwebs has created a phenomenon called call-out culture in society. That's the culture that we exist in right now, call-out culture. It's a petri dish of weirdos publicly denouncing each other. Everyone loves these public denunciations. That's what Twitter is for. You use your 280 characters to call someone a bigot, to call them a racist, a sexist, a homophobe, a transphobe, whatever it is. You know, rarely does this happen in person. It always happens online. This is what it's all about right now. It's people taking a stand against other people all the time. That's what call-out culture is, and it is indeed, in my opinion, a pernicious phenomenon that has a lot of negative and ill effects on people. It doesn't create a better society as far as I'm concerned in most cases. In some cases, it's incredibly valuable. In some cases, social media, specifically Twitter, gives us insight into the behavior and thought patterns of truly dangerous people, weirdos, freaks, people who might be potentially murderers, rapists, pedophiles, all of these things. And it's important sometimes that we find out who these people are, give authorities, give their employers advanced warning of their behavior and what might be happening, behind the scenes on the other side of the computer, so that they can make responsible choices and protect society and protect Guardians of the Galaxy. These are important things. These are the positive benefits of call-out culture. But in some cases, we have to examine what people are being condemned for and decide for ourselves. Let's all make a personal decision. Is this worth it? Is this truly something that is worth 1,000 years of condemnation? And let's look at something that happened today. This is what people are talking about right now. Star Wars Resistance voice actress Rachel Butera mocks Kavanaugh accuser Christine Blasey Ford. I think that's correct. I think that's the correct pronunciation. Blasey Ford. Let's read this article in Sci-Fi Wire, garbage here, of course, but we'll read it anyway. Today, the eagerly awaited Star Wars Resistance released an extended trailer. Well, I don't think it's eagerly awaited at all. It's the most downvoted Star Wars project of all time. I think it had 1,200 thumbs up and 100,000 thumbs down at this point. So that's not good. That's Star Wars fandom, by the way. Toxic fandom, the fandom menace. Get over it. Thanks to some deeply reckless tweeting, we won't exactly be surprised if they also released the actress presently voicing General Leia Organa, Rachel Butera. Butera, a voice performer who has also appeared in Family Guy and The Adventures of Rocky and Bullwinkle, posted a video to Twitter in which she does a rather unflattering impression of Christine Blasey Ford. While that's already of questionable taste, she chose to do so while Ford testifies to the Senate about her alleged sexual assault at the hands of SCOTUS nominee Brett Kavanaugh. So you can see already what goes on here. You can see that this is politically charged. This is a politically charged event here. A lot of Democrats, a lot of liberals are pinning their hopes on Brett Kavanaugh not being confirmed to the Supreme Court. They're hoping that they can delay, and maybe cause, enough of a delay that the Supreme Court doesn't get a new justice at the hands of Trump. This is very, very important. So we cannot have this trivialized in any way. Christine Blasey Ford. And indeed, if what she's saying is true, that Brett Kavanaugh did sexually assault her in high school, which is, I think, what the allegation is, that is nothing to trivialize at all. Let's see what goes on here. With an exaggerated glottal, that's a great word, glottal. With an exaggerated glottal creakiness, Butera spends the now deleted 1-minute video mocking Ford's vocal fry. That's something I have. Did you just hear it? Vocal fry. Right there. That's a vocal fry. Women do it. I do it too when I talk too much. When I start to lose my voice, I get a little vocal fry at the end of my sentences. Do you hear that? All right. So women, like some like Valley girls, do that all the time. They talk like that constantly. I don't know how they do that. I don't know how they do it. Something studies indicate is a criticism aimed solely at women. Not true. Not true. Another method of perceiving women as ditzy or less capable than their male counterparts. Well, whatever works. By focusing on a rather typical vocal quirk, the content of what the speaker is addressing is ignored, something especially devastating given what Ford is addressing in her testimony. That's quite true. This might have been inappropriate, although I told my wife, I was like, these sunglasses are crazy. They're like Catwoman sunglasses. Where did she get those sunglasses from? Rachel Butera says, I can't believe this is my voice. Can you? Dr. Christine Blasey Vocal Fry Ford. And then she, I played it for you at the beginning. You can hear that it was a very unflattering impersonation of her voice. And I don't even know what her voice sounds like because I wasn't watching. But I'll bet you it sounds like that because Rachel Butera is a pretty good voice actress. She does Princess Leia. She probably also does Rocket J. Squirrel. I would think that if she were on Rocky and Bullwinkle, she's probably the voice of Rocket J. Squirrel. Which is good. Now that we've lost the original voice of Rocket J. Squirrel, who has she just left us recently. What was her name? June Foray. June Foray is no longer with us. Great, probably one of the best voice actresses of all time. She lived to be almost 100. But now we have Rachel Butera, or do we? Or do we have Rachel Butera? We don't know. We'll see what happens after these liberals get done with her. It's a surprise to me that I can even talk this way. And I'm a doctor and a grown woman. I sound like I'm still back at that high school party, she says. But she says it with that vocal fry. All right, now right here is where she went wrong. This is the unfriendly part. Like I'm still back at that high school party. That high school party, of course, is the one that Ford says she was attacked by Kavanaugh as he attempted to rape her, putting his hand over her mouth and making Ford fear for her life. Cute video, though. Says sci-fi garbage tier. Sarcasm. Stupid sarcasm. Yeah. There are seemingly endless elements to be angered by here. Really? Maybe two. For starters, Butera is now voicing Leia Organa, a hero not only to geek girls everywhere, and here's where we go wrong. Here's where they give it all away, folks, right in this next sentence. But a symbol of the very resistance attempting to stand up against Kavanaugh and the Trump White House. All right, there's the line in the sand for you right there. If you don't think that Trump and the White House, his White House, and Kavanaugh are the first order, if you don't think that the empire is analogous to the President of the United States, then disregard all of this argument. Disregard all of this call-out culture nonsense, and go ahead and just accept that Rachel Butera just made a mistake, little error in judgment. She heard that voice, thought it was silly, wanted to imitate it and put it on Twitter. But if you think Donald Trump and his White House are as a star destroyer, a fleet of star destroyers in the sky, surrounding the Death Star, which is almost fully complete and most certainly operational. It's fully operational. Or it will be, unless you're able to take out Kavanaugh with an X-Wing fighter. If you can take out Kavanaugh with an X-Wing fighter, and if that X-Wing fighter is piloted by Christine Blasey Ford, then maybe this is a very, very serious thing indeed. Maybe this person is doing something terrible. Maybe she has sabotaged the X-Wing that's meant to blow up the Death Star that is the Trump White House. Maybe. All right, now you can see these people are nuts. They're insane. Let's keep reading here. All right. As she chose to respond to video of Ford with terror in her voice, she describes a horrific experience, one that she has received death threats over simply by coming forward, and ignored what she is saying entirely, focused instead on her voice. She dismissed Ford's testimony as, quote, media circus and political stage, and her voice as something that shouldn't be found in a respectable quote-unquote grown woman. As plenty have pointed out, vocal fry does not only affect women. Hey, that's good news. Mental Floss shared this video of Noam Chomsky. I don't want to watch Noam Chomsky, not even for a second, but he does have vocal fry, doesn't he? We can assume there are very few critics decrying Chomsky's voice as somehow unbecoming of an adult. I don't know, maybe. I might decry his voice. I'm going to go ahead and decry Noam Chomsky's voice. I'm going to be a rebel. I'm going to go ahead and do that. We are the resistance. We're going to resist sci-fi.com, and we are going to go ahead and decry Noam Chomsky's voice. But for women, critics take vocal fry as another means to infantilize us. Oh, so the writer is a woman who is personally offended by this. I see. Garbage tier. Which makes Butera's video all the more shocking. If Ford's voice can't be taken seriously, then why should the rest of her story? Because her voice has nothing to do with it. How's that? How about you can sound like whatever you want to sound like? You could sound like Miss Piggy or Kermit the Frog. If you were sexually assaulted, that's a serious thing. That's a very serious thing. And how you sound, how your voice sounds, doesn't have anything to do with it. But still, your voice might be funny, and voice actresses might imitate it. They probably shouldn't, though. They probably shouldn't. But it's not vital, is it? It's not vital to the case. If there is truth behind what she is saying, Christine Blasey Ford, then justice should be served, justice should be done, and you should probably take the stick out of your behind. And on a day when women on social media have come together in support of Ford, many in tears having to relive their own past traumas, this video was a slap in the face. Our General Leia would never. I'm sorry, but she is General Leia, as it turns out. Now, here's the thing. Let's get down to brass tacks here. A lot of people are asking me. They're saying, well, do you think this means that Rachel Butera will be fired? And I had to really think about this. I consulted my wife, and she said, I don't know. So she wasn't much of a help in this situation. So I had to rely on my own brain. What do I think? I think that the chances are 50-50 that she's going to be fired for this. Having said that, let's look at the two people who were fired recently from Disney for things that they said. First was the great Roseanne Barr, who was fired for making a racist joke. And she says that she didn't mean it to be racist. Nevertheless, racism isn't necessarily something that one should joke about, especially not when they are working for Disney. And I kind of feel like that cloud would have hung around for a long time. You can apologize for that, but that still is insight into your heart and soul. And, all right, I'll accept Roseanne being fired by Disney, even though I don't like it, because I was enjoying that show, and I thought that she was doing good work and making a lot of money and, bringing attention to what was going on in America in a very real way. So it's a sad thing that we lost the Roseanne show over her stupid comment, but it was definitely damaging. James Gunn. James Gunn's a layup. James Gunn needed to be fired right away, right out of a cannon into a brick wall. And I've always stuck by that. I decided that immediately upon seeing his tweets. He is not the type of person who should be employed by Disney. He's not. I don't know what he's up to. Normal people don't think like that. Normal people don't make several hundred jokes about rape and child pornography and child abuse while communicating with convicted child pornographers on Twitter. All of these things they seem like something Disney should distance itself from. Rachel Butera makes a joke making fun of Christina Blasey Ford in this politically charged moment. I don't know. My feeling is that it does not rise to the level of either James Gunn or Roseanne Barr. I think, honestly, a humble and contrite apology should do it. I wasn't thinking. I made a mistake. I found her voice funny, and I mocked her, and for that I'm terribly sorry. I think that might do it, even though I always say never apologize to SJWs, ever. The interesting thing is Christina Blasey Ford actually posted in May a tweet that said that she doesn't respect people who apologize. Even though she hates Trump, she says it's the one thing that she respects about Donald Trump is that he does not apologize. He stands by his convictions, and she feels that people who do apologize are only doing it to save their jobs. Nevertheless, ironically, she has already apologized for this. And of course, in this call-out culture, it has nothing to do. It never has anything to do with somebody being wronged, apologizing, being contrite, humble, that apology being accepted, and then all of us moving on. That's just not what happens. They want your apology to beat you over the head with it. My feeling is that she would have to apologize in this case to keep her job, and hopefully Disney would kind of stand by her and say, we consider this matter closed. However, the other thing about this is that it isn't about justice. It isn't about what's fair, and the response is never going to be proportional. It's going to be hysterical. It's going to be extreme. It's going to be crazy until these crybaby denunciators get their way. I feel like just to quiet down Twitter, Disney might very well fire Rachel Butera and do it sooner than later. We'll have to wait and see. My opinion is it's a close call. It's a close call for Disney. I'm thinking as a Disney executive, not in terms of politics or anything like that. If I were working for Disney, if I were Bob Iger, I would say apologize. I don't think this is that big of a deal. It's a little embarrassing. It was pretty stupid, but we can probably move forward with an apology. Having said that, of course, the culture and these piranhas, these jackals, will probably force Disney's hand in another way, and that's a sad thing. Join the fandom menace and execute your own Order 66 with our incredible line of t-shirts, Soylo, a Soy Wars story, Tico, a Soy Wars story, and our brand new smoking hot Soy Wars Plan 9. Make a statement today. This is the only trilogy you'll ever need. The link is below in the description. Hey, want to follow me on Twitter? Okay, cool. I'm at Ethan Van Sciver. Talk to you there. If you enjoyed this video and want to become part of this community, subscribe to this channel by clicking the laughing man face logo right on your screen. Ring the bell for notifications as well. You'll never miss a live chat. And stay tuned, another video by Comic Artist Pro Secrets is coming right up.